All right, let's talk about one of the weirdest, wildest corners of the internet, meme coins. Seriously, how does a joke, a literal internet meme, turn into a real financial asset? It sounds crazy, right? Well, we're going to break it all down for you, right here in under 5 minutes. Let's get into it. And this quote really just hits the nail on the head. We're not just talking about funny pictures anymore. This is where internet culture, that powerful sense of community, and yeah, real money all smashed together in some of the most surprising ways imaginable. And when we say real money, we're not kidding. We are talking about billions of dollars. Billions. Poured into things that, let's be honest, started out as a complete joke. This isn't just some niche hobby. It's become a massive financial force we kind of have to pay attention to. So that's the big question, isn't it? The one we're really here to answer. How on earth does this happen? What's the secret sauce? What's the engine that takes a silly meme, turns it into a full-blown movement, and then turns that movement into cold, hard cash? Let's peel back the layers. Okay, so our story really starts with the OGs, the coins that kicked this whole thing off. And what you'll see is that sometimes the biggest financial waves start with the silliest jokes. So check out this timeline. What's wild isn't just the dates, it's the speed. It all starts back in 2013 with Dogecoin, which was literally just a parody of Bitcoin. Kind of slow burn. Then, bam, 7 years later, Shiba Inu shows up, calling itself the Doge Killer. It's more strategic. And then you get to 2023 with Pepe, and it's just pure lightning in a bottle. It showed that the right meme at the right time could set the entire market on fire almost instantly. Okay, so this is super important to get. A meme coin isn't backed by, gold bars in a vault or anything like that. Its entire value comes from three things. It's got to be relatable, it has to go viral, and it needs a powerful community. And we're not just talking about a bunch of people who bought the same thing. No, it's more like a tribe. They've got a shared identity, they're all in on the same inside joke, and that's what makes them such a force to be reckoned with. Right, so that community power, that's the absolute key to everything. So let's pop the hood and look at the engine itself. How exactly does all that cultural energy, that hype, actually get turned into real dollars and cents on a chart? This lays out the whole life cycle perfectly. First, a meme just clicks with people. It resonates. Then they launch a token, usually with a huge supply. Think trillions of coins. Why? Because it feels cheap. You can buy millions of them for a few bucks, which feels way cooler than buying 0.001 of something else. Then the community just takes over. They become the marketing team. That hype brings in real money, real buyers. And then you hit this fork in the road. The coin either finds a real reason to exist or it just fizzles out. In the end, the story, the narrative, is what decides if it lives or dies. And make no mistake, these communities aren't just sitting around. They are actively out there creating value every single day. They're making the memes, the videos, they're shilling it everywhere, evangelizing on every platform. They're coordinating these huge pushes to get listed on big exchanges. And they're the first line of defense, fighting off any FUD or negativity. They are the engine, and they're running on pure, uncut belief. And this quote says it all, really. Look, anyone with a laptop can copy and paste the code to create a new crypto coin. That's the easy part. What you cannot copy is the passion, the energy, the coordinated power of a die-hard community. That is the real asset. It's a crazy mix of wanting to make money and just wanting to belong to something. But, okay, let's be real. This whole scene isn't just about fun memes and making money. It's a total carnival of chaos out there. For every amazing ride, there's a shady carny in the corner trying to take your wallet. So we gotta look at the good, the bad, and yeah, the pretty ugly. So on the bright side, yeah, meme coins can be a super fun and easy way for people to get into crypto, and the communities can be genuinely awesome. But on the dark side, the volatility is just insane. We're talking prices crashing 90% or more in a single day. And the whole space is a minefield of scams. Rug pulls, pump and dumps, you name it. For every person who gets lucky, there are thousands who get wiped out by projects that literally vanish into thin air. So, with all that chaos, how do you even begin to tell the good from the bad? Well, this red flag radar from our source material is actually a great starting point. It's basically a checklist of things to look for. Like, is the community just screaming, "When Lombo?" Or are they talking about an actual vision? Are the developers transparent or are they hiding? Is there a clear plan for the coin supply? Asking these questions can help you spot the difference between a real project and a total trap.
All right, so for any of these coins to actually stick around, they have to do something crucial. They have to evolve. The joke can only take you so far. To survive, it has to find a real purpose. And that's the next chapter in this story.
This is basically the roadmap from a flash in the pan to a lasting project. You start with that insane hype. Then the real believers stick around, and the community gets stronger. But phase 3, that's the make or break moment. Utility. Can you actually do something with the coin? Can you use it for payments, or in a game, or something else? If it can make that leap, then it's got a real shot at becoming legit and sticking around for the long haul. And this quote just nails it. Hype is like the lightning strike that starts the fire. But utility? That's the firewood that keeps it burning along after the storm has passed. A great joke gets you noticed, but being useful is what earns you a permanent spot. Okay, so you've seen the massive potential and the massive risks. So how in the world should you even think about approaching this space? The source material we're looking at offers a set of principles it calls the warrior's edge, basically a disciplined way to navigate the chaos. And honestly, these rules are just solid advice for any kind of high-risk investing. It's all about having a plan and sticking to it. Don't get greedy, sell a little on the way up, don't chase pumps out of FOMO, spread your bets around, and for the love of God, do your own homework. It's all about being disciplined, not desperate. So to make this whole utility thing a bit more real, the source material gives us an example. It points to a project called WR, which is trying to be that bridge between meme culture and actual commerce. The whole idea behind projects like this is to create a coin that's meant to be spent, not just speculated on. It's a perfect example of a project trying to choose the find a purpose path at that fork in the road we talked about. Which brings us right back to the beginning, but with a new perspective. We've seen this incredible journey from a joke to a community to an asset, and maybe, just maybe, to real utility. So what's the final chapter here? Are we looking at the birth of a new kind of money, or is this all just going to be one of the wildest, most chaotic chapters in the history of the internet? The truth is, nobody knows. The story is being written as we speak.